And now it's time for Coach's Comments presented by Southside Auto Tech. I'm Cristiano Simonetta, joined alongside by Stars head coach Rocky Russo. And Rocky, this is a statement win for your group, a 4-1 victory over the Omaha Lancers. You're now 3 points above Omaha. I know the storyline is that top line of Lucas Wallen, Mason Marcellus, Aiden Thompson. They generate and record 3 goals. Wallen has 2. Thompson has 2 unbelievable passes across to Wallen. Marcellus had the first pass to Wallen for the first goal. Then Aiden returns the feed back to Lucas for the third goal. But how good have they been? Why do you think they've been so dynamic since you put that trio together?
Well, we've searched all year for the right winger, the correct left winger on that line, and obviously, you've seen Wallen and Tomper play together all year, but what we were lacking was some high-end skill on the left side, and we've had some really capable players go through there, but when you have somebody like Tomper, like his hockey IQ is elite, and so you got to have somebody that can make some plays with him, and we've had some hard-working wingers with him, but nobody that's been able to make those plays. And Mason has that same type of hockey IQ that Aiden has. So they're able to extend their possessions because they play really hard. They're not a soft line; they're a hard, heavy line, and so they're able to be patient, and they're not. They don't throw pucks. They don't. When they have pressure on them, they hold it. They put it in their feet. They wait for help, and then they're all great passers. And so, those guys they've carried us. Now, we need to get some production from a couple of the other lines, right? I think the other lines are playing fine, and I mean Kevin Pash is an unbelievable goalie. But we need to get some more from a couple other lines if we're really going to be a threat in the playoffs.
And is that the message of this group? You may have just won 4-1, but we can still ramp up our game as a happy birthday chant breaks out behind us.
Apparently, it's one of the building workers' birthdays, so good for him. Happy birthday to him. But yeah, that's the message. Is guys, like, that's been the message for weeks now. That's been the message all year. Like, our habits Monday through Thursday have to follow through on Friday, and if we don't, we do drills and we work on things and set up controlled situational scrimmages throughout the week in practice, like, you have got to bury pucks. And the goalies are too good. Like, you deal with Sergeyev, you deal with Pash. They're unbelievable, quite frankly. They're not even just good. They're elite goalies. And if you're not prepared to bury a puck when you get a chance, they're going to find a way to keep it out. And these guys, like, when we do put it behind them, then they're diving and they're knocking pucks out of their net with their D. Like, I mean, they're a pretty – I'll give them a lot of credit. Like, they play really hard. They don't handle us very well in their defensive zone. They're a transition team that, they defend in transition well, but when we start zipping around with our offensive zone possession, they have a hard time. But, man, is Kevin Patch a good goalie. Like, it's unbelievable.
A lot of good goaltenders in this Western Conference, especially Caden Empirico, who had not beaten Omaha this year. He shuts that notion to bed. 30-plus saves for him. He was fantastic. But it's an example of your defense with the forwards helping out and supporting the structure, taking away transition attempts. I mean, you saw last week at the Icebox a breakaway goal against 2-on-1s back and forth. Your defense much more improved. Why do you think there was a reason for that?
Well, we harped on transition defense. This game was about offensive zone possession and transition defense, and our willingness to pick guys up in transition, not allow them to put pucks behind us or to catch us lunging. Like, you can tell anybody that's watched us all year, when we're not playing very good, we're lunging at pucks instead of angling. And so, Caden was lights out tonight. Lights out. He was fantastic. He made some big-time saves, but we did a good job of letting him see everything. They didn't get a ton of second and third chances. I thought we tied up sticks net front. We cleared pucks when we had to. We broke pucks out pretty well. The mistakes we made were when we held on to the puck too long. Like, the D got to get it off their tape a little bit faster, and if you don't have the post, which we should have, But if you don't have the post, there's nothing wrong with putting it off the glass and letting our stretch guy go get it. So, I want the guys to be poised, and I want them to make plays under pressure, but I also want them to understand, like, that's a team that works back so hard. And they're going to come try to take it from you from behind. And if you're not willing to move it up the ice, you're going to get caught. And 3 or 4 times we did tonight.
You didn't clinch the playoffs tonight. I bet that's the last thing on your mind after a great win like this. But you have an opportunity on Friday against Sioux Falls. If you win, you're in. And you had a lot of Stars fans, even after Jarecki scores that empty net goal, some chance. Are you feeling the buzz to start continuing and increasing this city coming behind you guys as you reach down the stretch here in one of the biggest success stories over the last couple of years with this franchise?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would have rather, we did what we were supposed to do tonight. That's all I was worried about. I was rooting for Fargo to win, to take care of that, and then I was rooting for Des Moines to win because I didn't want Sioux City to win. So I didn't want to clinch tonight because that would have meant that Sioux City won, which they ended up coming back to win. But that's fine. I'd rather be able to completely control our destiny, and we do that next Friday, which is great.
Rocky, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
That was Coach's Comments presented by Southside Auto Tech.